What is up? And I'm Randy, and welcome to a Timelord deck profile. Now, this deck is actually really cool and really interesting. I mean, it's really fun to play with, and plus with the new support, the Battles of Legend pack we just got, it definitely got some cool new support that make it actually even more, formidable, than it already was. Now, as we know, we got Time Maiden. This does everything. Like, it's crazy. She special summons from the hand. She has a Cyber Dragon effect, pretty much. And then it's also treated as 2 tributes for a Time Lord monster, so it's great. And then if this card is tributed, it also adds a Time Lord from your deck to your hand. Then if this card's in your graveyard, you can banish it. Special summon a Time Lord with 0 attack right from the deck, ignoring the summoning conditions. So it literally does everything for this deck. It's crazy. Like, you have to rock that at 3. Next, we're going to go into Time Lords. We're going to go into, of course, Mickeon. Mickeon is a badass. Basically, all the Time Lords have this same effect. They cannot be special summoned from the deck unless it's by Time Maiden. And you control no monster. You can normal summon this card without tributing. It can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, and you can take no damage involving the battle. And then that's where it gets interesting, because each one has an effect if it does battle. For this one, at the end of the battle step, this card will just half your opponent's life points. Done. There goes that's 4,000 damage right off the bat. It's crazy. And also, all Time Lords get shuffled back into the deck during your standby phase. So, there's Mickeon. That's amazing. Then we have Raffion. Raffion, when at the damage step, he can inflict damage to your opponent. It's equal to one of the attackers that he battled. So, it's just more damage you can put on the opponent so quickly and so fast. Then we got Zaphion. Zaphion returns all spell and trap cards from your opponent's side of the field back to their hand. So it's a back row removal, which is great. Then we have Sandion. Sandion, just basically at the end of the damage step, he does that, another 2,000. So more burn onto the opponent. So you're halving it. You're dealing damage equal to one of the monsters that one of the Time Lords battle with, and now 2,000. You're wiping out the back row. These guys are crazy. Now we got Camion. Camion is pretty much, what was his name? Zaphion, but for monsters. So basically, if he attacks, you can shuffle, basically, one card your opponent controls into the hand, and then also you get some, 500 burn on top of that as well. Then we got Medion. Medion is the complete monster removal. Like, if he battles, all monsters, your opponent controls, can return to the hand, and then he also burns for 300 each return to the hand. And then we get your one-offs. We got Helion. Helion, basically, if your life points are lower than your opponent's, you inflict damage equal to the difference between you and your opponent. So it's a good way to tie the game up for, all this new time procedures that are still in this effect. Then, once per turn, if your opponent draws a card, inflict 1,000 points of damage to your opponent. So basically, if they draw a card, you burn them. Then we get if you want, you can rock any 3 hand traps, but taking effect, these guys do shuffle themselves back into the deck, during your next standby phase. It's good to protect yourself from direct attacks. So Battle Fader is a good way to get special summon out for tribute fodder, but also end that battle phase. So you take as least amount in damage as possible, because they do shuffle back into the hand. Now we're jumping into the spell cards. Celestial Transformation. Special summon 1 fairy-type monster from your hand. Bam. And there's no point of halving its attack because it's already 0. So, and then it's right during the end phase, which is great to combo off with another card that we're going to get to. But then we're going to go into your other 3 ofs. I would rock 3 of dualities. I mean, it's draw power, and plus you can set up the your next draws that you need, because it's pod duality. It's great. Then Advanced Draw is great to combo off with Celestial Transformation, because if you special summon a Time Lord out with Celestial Transformation, you can just Advanced Draw it out after it does what it needs to do, so you can get a draw off in it as well. So Advanced Draw. Then for your back roll, 2 MSTs. You can do Twin Twisters or Cosmic Cyclone. I'm just keeping it generic and basic. 2 MSTs. Then, of course, because this deck does have a problem with protecting itself, you have to help it as much as possible. Scapegoat, just get more fodder out there. So 4 monsters they have to beat through. Plus, you can It's just a wall to protect you. Then more draw, Upstart. Then we got Foolish to send Time Maiden to the grave. Monster Reborn. Then 1/1 to search out your Time Maiden, and then Lightning Vortex. You can put, say if you want, you can put a Regeki or a Dark Hole in its place, just to, say, nuke off your opponent's monsters. And then, of course, 3 Torrential Tribute, because, say, keeping as many monsters off your opponent's side of the field as possible during the return is great. Especially since this deck does have a problem with them bouncing back. So just protect it is a lot of protection is what this deck pretty much needs. I say 3 Torrential Tribute does this well. It also stops those, say, big board decks as well. It's just one of those. It's just a cool trap to have. Now for the extra deck, I mean, you can say Rock Links, but mostly you're gonna have 1 or 2 monsters out at a time. But if you want, you can rock, say these, say Exceed monsters in their way. First, we're gonna start off with Ravenous Tarantula. I mean, you can work up to Pain Gainer, and then also to your 7 Sins combo. I mean, it's something that is very familiar. If you're a cubic player, stuff like that, get those Crimson Novas off, go into all these guys, which is crazy. Then, of course, you get your, say, Rail Cannon, Super Dora, and then your Gustav Max. Gustav Max is just great with this deck, because how much damage, say, burn damage this deck already does. Dealing additional 2,000 is just absolutely insane. It's just crazy. So definitely Gustav Max is definitely the best extra deck option for this deck to use. But that has been it. It's just a cool little fun deck to take the locals. I mean, it does have good potential. It does do a lot of damage. And I'm trying to, say, work on a way where I can merge this with the Cubics, I say the Crimson Nova style, where I can just burn, and just burn them to death and just OTK them just by that. But Time Maidens by themselves are definitely a cool deck to get into. I mean, they're relatively cheap. It's definitely a budget deck. It's just cool deck. It's just cool. So, this has been the Timelord deck. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, and also subscribe. And I hope you guys have an awesome day wherever and whenever you're watching this. And until my next video, bye-bye.